G'day mates, it's a Doctor here, and it has been over a year since I've done a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, so now it's time to get back into it with Destiny Heroes. So, heroes have gotten pretty popular again, thanks to Stratos coming off a ban list and more support for pretty much all the hero monsters in recent years, like Elemental Heroes, of course, Destiny Heroes, Evil Heroes, Vision Heroes, you name it. So, this deck is going to be mostly Destiny Heroes, a few Elemental Heroes, of course, and, well, let's get to it. So first of all, we have Destiny Hero Disc Commander, which lets you draw 2 cards, but you cannot summon it on the same turn it is sent to the graveyard. That's the errata they gave it. It's only once per duel. And then there's Destiny Hero Dreamer, which... I should do this. Never mind, I'll just keep the rest of the cards in my hand. Yes, I'm kind of rusty, but Destiny Hero Dreamer is kind of like a Necro Gardener where it can protect your Destiny Heroes from being destroyed in battle, and I don't believe you take damage. No. And you can summon it from the graveyard, so, you know, more materials for a fusion or link summon. And then there's Destiny Hero Drill Dark, which lets you summon a Destiny Hero from the hand, and, you know, go for an instant link 2. Destiny Hero Decider, which lets you bring back your heroes from the graveyard, as it says, yes, any hero monster, so, again, Vision Heroes or Elemental Heroes, whatever, you name it, as long as it's a hero monster. 1 copy of Destiny Hero Celestial, it's kind of like Destiny Hero Disc Commander, but you can also draw 2 cards. It's a little more conditional, I think. Then Destiny Hero Dynatag, which can... yeah, if you take battle damage, you can discard this card, and both players take 1,000 damage instead. And I wonder if you can combo this with Destiny Hero Decider with its second effect, that if it's in the graveyard, if you would take effect damage, then you can return this card to the hand, and the effect damage becomes 0. And I think that would also work for your opponent as well, because you're negating Dynatags as well, because Dynatag would affect both players. And then 2 copies of Malicious, because I think Malicious should be at 3, but well, you can't have 3 thanks to the ban list. But, you know, it's still a great card to banish from the graveyard and summon another Destiny Hero monster. And then you got Destiny Hero Dogma, which can cut your opponent's life points in half, and Plasma, which can steal your opponent's monsters, like Mind Control, and it can also act like a skill drain to negate your opponent's monster's effects, so very scary. And then you have Solid Soldier, which is kind of like Destiny Hero Drill Dark. When it's summoned, you can then special summon a hero monster from the hand. Yes, whereas Drill Dark is specifically Destiny Heroes. And yes, admittingly, Liquid Soldier is better, because Liquid Soldier not only lets you draw 2 cards, kind of like Destiny Hero, Disc Commander, and Celestial, but it also summons that monster from the graveyard instead of from the hand, like Solid Soldier. But yeah, Solid Soldier is definitely the cheaper one. And then, of course, Stratos. You can go for free if you want, but I also have E-Emergency Call in the deck. And then, of course, you got the Hand Trap, Elemental Hero Honest Neos, which was reprinted in the latest Duelist pack. So it's cheaper, and of course, as you can see, this is from the Duelist Saga. I don't know how much it was when prior to it was reprinted. Then Monster Reborn, Regeki, Reinforcement, Searcher, Super Polymerization. This is also at 3 now. And yeah, it's just crazy to think that this card was banned for so long, and it's definitely good with any Elemental Hero based deck, because you got these specific Elemental Heroes like Great Tornado, where all you need is an Elemental Hero and a Wind monster. But I think Absolute Zero is the one that lets you use any generic hero monster, I believe. A generic hero and a water monster. So yeah, there's also Liquid Soldier, if you want to go with that. Warrior Returning Alive, to add a warrior back to your hand. 2 emergency calls to add Stratos and Solid Soldier if you want. Then Fusion Destiny. It's funny that I actually didn't know what the card did at the time I did my Dark Neostorm opening last year, but damn, this card is so good that you can fusion summon from the main deck. So that's how you can get your Disc Commanders, or just summon Dogma without anything. It's just that easy. It's so easy to bring out Destiny Hero Dogma, especially when I believe Dogma requires specific fusion material, so you can't use like Elemental Hero Prisma. Oh, very interesting. And I was about to go on ahead, but over Destiny, which is another searcher. And the wording on this card is just weird, that it says, special summon a Destiny hero from your deck whose level is less than or equal to that monster's level in the graveyard that you target. So does that mean you can target like a level 3 Destiny hero in your graveyard and special summon a level 6 Destiny hero like Malicious? Someone help me out there. It's worded weird. And then Destiny draw, yet again, you can draw 2 cards from the deck. D-Tactics, increasing your hero monsters, not just Destiny heroes, increasing your hero monsters attack by 400 each standby phase, so 400, 800, 1200, 1600, 2000. And of course, if you fusion summon a Destiny hero monster, even Dragoon, you can banish a card your opponent controls. So very scary, even though it's only once per turn. Necro Fusion, to fusion summon from the graveyard, because it's kind of like Miracle Fusion, but for generic decks. Any deck that relies on fusion summoning. Even, the Invokers could use this card. And now we move on to the extra deck. So here is Extra Hero Cross Crusader, which is the best one in my opinion, because it lets you search for a hero monster, add a hero monster, different name from the deck to your hand, and, well, what else? This also is what I was saying with Destiny Hero Drill Dark or Solid Soldier or even Liquid Soldier, where you instantly have 2 monsters on the field and then you can go for Cross Crusader. Then Wonder Driver. This lets you recover your fusion cards, like Polymerization for example, and then Extra Hero Infernal Devicer. This was the most recent addition for heroes with dual overload, because it's kind of a weird card as well, because, well, to include in Destiny Hero specifically, because reveal a hero fusion from your extra deck, and if you do, add 2 of the fusion materials listed on that card with different names from the deck to your hand. The only one that works well, or works properly with this card for Destiny Heroes, is Dragoon, because Dragoon doesn't just list Destiny Heroes, it lists Dogma and Plasma. The rest of the Destiny Hero fusions are generic, which is kind of surprising. Security Dragon, these are some of the generic links. Security Dragon, Equimax, and Barolodo Dragon. Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Oh yeah, these are the targets you can go for with Super Polymerization. So Mud Dragon requires 2 monsters of the same attribute, but with different types. So, any dark-based deck you're going against, or even from the extra deck, if your opponent happens to have a Borlo Dragon of their own, just scoop it up and go for Mud Dragon or Starving Venom. Of course, Starving Venom is better. But if you're going against a machine-based deck, here is Pair Psychroid and requires 2 machine monsters of the same name. So, Cyber Dragons, anyone? And then you got Destiny Hero Dangerous. So, another card that works well with Disc Commander, because you can send a Destiny Hero from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Then you got Dystopia, which Dystopia special summons a hero monster from the graveyard, and that's how you can set off Disc Commander, drawing 2 cards. Dystopia is okay. It's a good protector, but it requires Destiny Hero Fusion and a Destiny Hero monster, so I don't know. I don't know about this one. Destiny End Dragoon. This is a really good card, because target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it. It can't attack, but you also inflict damage equal to half of that monster's attack. And if it's in the graveyard, not necessarily destroyed if it's, sucked up by a Super Poly or Kaiju'd. You can then banish a Destiny hero from your graveyard to special summon this card from the graveyard. But there's something weird with the rulings for Extra Foolish Burial. So if you use Extra Foolish Burial to send this card to the graveyard, Evo wasn't necessarily fusion summoned, could you still bring it back? Because I spoke to a judge when I did that with another Link monster called Delingus Dragon or something. It was for my Rockets. and apparently wasn't allowed to do that. Like, it had to be specifically link summoned to have the monster summon itself from the graveyard. It's kind of weird. I don't get it. But yeah, if anyone can confirm for me, or heck, maybe it's on Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia or Yugipedia. Now here is Destiny Hero Dominance, another card that came out in the Dark Neostorm set. And this card lets you draw a card if you destroy a monster in battle. So again, the draw power for Destiny Heroes is crazy. And if it's destroyed, special summon free level 9 or lower Destiny Hero monster with different names from the graveyard. So I guess that can work with Dreadmaster. I don't have Dreadmaster in deck, but the final monster for the extra deck is Vision Hero Trinity. So all you need is 3 heroes, and then this card's attack will become 5,000 and just go bam, 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 and possibly win the duel, because a lot of people win the duels in Duel Links with this card. So probably the craziest hero monster out there. But yes, now we're going to look at some alternative options that you can go with. So here is, here is D cubed. So yes, it's a mechanical feline, and this is an interesting card for summoning Dogma or Plasma, because you can discard up to 2 cards, special summon DQ from hand deck or graveyard, but you cannot summon other monsters except Destiny Heroes. So no XC summoning or fusion summoning, or wait, yeah, you can go for fusions as long as it's a Destiny Hero, of course. But the discarding part is interesting, because you can discard the other DQs from your hand and summon them back, because again, hand deck or graveyard. Yeah. And of course, you're going to be doing plenty of banishing, so you might want a copy of Burial from a different dimension, or another Stratos, of course. And if you feel like you don't have enough draw power, there is Allure of Darkness. And if you want to use Clock Tower Prison, I don't know why, unless you want to stall, if you don't believe your opponent has like an MST or, was it Twin Twisters? Yeah, Twin Twisters sound right. But yeah, as you can see, look at the older printing compared to the newer printing, that it just looks darker, more grittier, and even the border, this grey part around the card, it's thicker instead of the newer ones. Kind of interesting. Oh yeah, and I also heard that rares aren't going to be a thing anymore. Just the normal rarity. We're not going to be doing that anymore. And of course, you could go for the Utopia monsters. So here we have regular Utopia, Utopia Double, and Utopia the Lightning if you just want to go for extreme power and possibly FTK or OTK your opponents. And if you want to go for Utopia Double, you're going to need Double or Nothing. And of course, more Super Polys, Armageddon Knight, and a Dark Arm Dragon if you think you can pull it off, because you do need 3 specific dark monsters in your graveyard. No more, no less, has to be 3. So if you have it in your hand for the first turn, that's good. And I think this card is actually a 3 itself, so you can include 3 copies of Dark Arm Dragon. Now here's another question I have for everyone, and that is with the card Book of Moon. So in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, if you summon a monster, and then that monster gets flipped face down, like by, was it Bottomless Trap Hole? Or, what's the other card? The Paleozoic Trap. That monster, say, would have an effect. When it's summoned, it doesn't go off, which just seems really weird to me. But, let's say my opponent summons Soul Eating Overraptor and is going to search when the card is summoned. Can I use Book of Moon to flip it face down and the effect doesn't go off? It's just a weird ruling. But the last card I'll show for other methods, if you want to go with, is Halfway to Forever. Target 2 monsters in your graveyard, special summon them, negate their effects. But you can Xyz summon Utopia or Utopic Xyz. So yeah, it's kind of like a Miracle Fusion for Utopia specifically. Not any rank 4 monster, but yeah, that's my Destiny Hero deck profile. And Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be doing more deck profiles. As you can see, I've got these 3 lined up, and I did get more support for my Legendary Ocean deck, which I don't know why that's my most popular deck profile, but thank you for watching that video, and I think I'm going to do an update on that one. I will do an update on the Legendary Ocean deck, but you might be wondering why I have a box of Shining Darkness, and that's because I did an opening with my good friend Greiken, where we opened up 1/2 each, and well, we got some good pulls from it, so I'm going to be uploading part 1 and part 2 soon, and until then, or until the next deck profile, take care, mates.